This is important right here. If you are in sales, listen up. I'm about to give you 5 or 6, maybe 7 rules that you must know to increase your sales, to double your sales immediately. That's a big claim.
Yeah, it is.
I can do it for you.
Let's go.
I can do it for you. Here's what you got to do. And he uses emojis. So he's already read the book. He's sending emojis. That's one of the rules. And there's, okay, back to sales. You got to block the comments for me for a little while.
Okay.
If you want to increase your sales, if you want to double your sales, I'm your guy. Here's what you got to do. The first thing you must do if you want to double your sales, this is a big claim. I can double your sales. I can 3x your sales in 1 month. If you'll listen to me, the first thing you got to do is you got to get digital.
Okay.
So
there's a lot of people that don't realize how much opportunity is out there online.
And if you're not digital, you're dying, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw the car business 30 years ago when people shopped at 5 or 6 different dealerships and then went to the dealership and made a decision. Now they don't come in. Now it's on, and COVID just put us in, 10 years in the future as far as the way people sell cars.
Right. Changed everything.
You have to be digital. You absolutely have to get digital. You have to be tech savvy. You have to be text savvy. You have to understand how to use social media. You got to use your phone. The dumbest thing a boss ever told me, and I was a good employee at times because I was a talented producer, but I never followed rules very well. So I had to become an entrepreneur.
Sounds like you.
Yep. But the worst advice I ever got, the dumbest thing a boss ever told me was to get off of Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they're out of business now.
And that's it. Well, they didn't understand it.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to use it as an opportunity.
They're living on their Social Security right now, trying to marry up.
Going, anyway. Hey, see you Sunday. Typing in the comments, see you Sunday.
Okay, so you got to get digital. You got to get smart about this. You need to get some young people around you if you're too old. You need to hire you an assistant. If you're a salesperson, you need an assistant. I could walk in any dealership in the country, and the only reason I'm sounding cocky right now is because I've proven this. Mm-hmm. I can walk in any dealership in the country, any brand, and outsell anybody there for the entire month. I can do that.
He talks the talk now, but he walks the walk.
Okay, I was gonna see if you were with me on that.
No, I'm with you. Because I've told you that. I'm gonna interrupt you real quick.
Okay.
Because I use this phrase a lot. I've told you about this. Even before we worked together, I said there's people who talk the talk all the time, but do they walk the walk?
To that point, and you're talking about 10X and the whatever it takes type things. You've seen me do whatever it takes.
Absolutely.
You've seen me actually put in the 10X action. And I was somewhere and at a restaurant in Alabama, Hoover, Alabama, checking on some dealers. And I saw a 10X hat come in the restaurant. And I was like, I wanted to have a conversation with him, but it wasn't the right time or place. But like, you know what? If you were 10X and you wouldn't be in this restaurant taking an hour to eat, you'd be whatever you're selling, you would be there selling that because he wasn't with a client.
He may have been on his phone. You don't know.
Listen, I walk the walk. I never went out to eat with other salespeople.
Right.
I'd find a client to go out to eat, and I would network when I was.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I didn't know he was with other salespeople.
Well, he was with his dad, I think. I mean, maybe he was 10X in his relationship. Regardless,
could be.
I would never, ever, ever go out to eat with fellow salespeople. I would with a manager, and I would with customers, and I would with, potential customers. If you're serious about it.
It's, again, an opportunity.
Yeah. So you got to get digital. Number 2, you have to text your customers. And, Paul said, everybody should know about this by now. Billy's done enough videos. That was one of those little jabs he throws at me. You have to text your customers. You have to do it. And now I'm not the only person. I was the first person. I was the very first person to write a manual on how to text your customers. I was the first, the pioneer. I was the pioneer. Okay. Now there's other text books out there.
There's other copycats now.
There's other text books. And I don't mean like a textbook. There's other text your customer books. I was the pioneer. And this is the real information. Those other people who wrote the books have never even sold anything other than their book. So you
talking the talk.
Yes, they're talking the talk. They're talking the talk. Yeah, you were talking about 10X. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. So many people will walk around and yell 10X, and they'll post and they'll hashtag 10X, but they're not walking the walk.
Right.
Okay. Number 3, you have to be an expert. So you better that's why you got to train, man. That's why you got to train. That's why you got to get good at your skill. You got to get on some training. We do the Digital BDC Academy here. We do the Grant Cardone training. We train daily, and you have to be an expert if you want to be great at sales. If you want to double or 3X your sales, you have to be an expert. You can't fake it.
Well, and the thing is, yeah, the people who say fake it till you make it, I completely disagree.
I totally agree with you. Yep. Now, here's what you have to do on social media. You have to, so this ties in with being an expert and being digital. So all this is a circle. Okay. You have to be an expert and give away lots of valuable information. Do you know, to this day, I still have every single week every day somebody texts me or messages me about a car. I don't sell cars anymore, people. I don't do it. But I branded myself so well as the car salesman that I still get that. But what I get still weekly is I get people wanting me to appraise their car. Because as a salesperson, not a manager, but as a salesperson, I bought every Black Book subscription. I bought every NADA subscription. I bought every subscription that you could buy to be an expert appraiser. And I willingly gave away no obligation appraisals. If I'm the one giving away all the expert information, what your car is worth, who do you think they're going to call when it's time to buy the car? Exactly. So you have to give away, figure out what you're an expert at, and give that away.
That is an extremely difficult thing for older people or people who've been in the business for a while, because it's something brand new. It's completely against what they were taught. I mean, think about the car business, like you said, 30 years ago. You never gave information over the phone. A lot of times you didn't give information when they came to the lot. It was all very, oh no, we'll go over that later. This and that. Now it's like give. That's all you do. Give information.
The one who gives the most gets the most. But you got to give it away. You got to create. There's a term for this, for the techie, smart, highly educated marketeers out there. It's called creating goodwill. You have to create goodwill. By the way, I'm pretty educated on it as well. I just did it from a different route.
That was good.
But it is called generating goodwill. You have to create goodwill. If you're constantly on, and here's what you don't, here's a don't do. Don't get on Facebook and say, I got the best deals. Who wants to buy a car today?
Right.
I need to sell a car. It's the best deal you're going to see. That is a salesperson. You don't want to be a salesperson. You want to be an expert. People love buying from experts. They hate buying from salespeople.
Right. It's true.
So put 3 stars by this, and let me say it again. If you want to be a master salesman, don't be a salesman. Be an expert. People love to buy from experts, but hate to buy from salespeople.
Well said.
Yes. Okay. Now, here's something else you got to do that ties in with being an expert, giving it away, being digital, texting your customers. You must. It's a necessity. You have to be spending money on Facebook ads.
People still don't understand that. They just think, I can just post something on my personal page and I'll just get all this. No, it doesn't work.
Let me tell you something. If you don't agree with this, I'm smarter than you. Don't let me be smarter than you. You need to be running Facebook ads daily as a salesperson. I know that got a little loud. Not as a manager, my dealership doesn't spend money on ads. So you spend the money.
Yeah, we hear that a lot.
You spend the money. Build your brand, invest in yourself, advertise for you. What's up, Art Todd?
That's the thing. If you're a salesperson, I mean, yes, you work at a car dealership and you represent that company, but you represent yourself first.
Yes, you're the brand. That's what I told all my people. You've seen it, man. All the managers that are at dealerships now being very successful that I trained, and I taught them how to do what they do. And I taught them how to brand and market themselves. And they're able to go in and market themselves to dealers and owners and dealer principals and get the high paying jobs because they understand. Like Felipe the other day, Felipe said when he was on the show last Tuesday, he said, I'm not a businessman. I am the businessman. So be the business, invest in yourself, spend money on Facebook. Somebody said, how much money should I spend on Facebook? I said, $10,000. Oh, that's too much. Okay. 9,000. Wherever your threshold is,
right.
Push it past that. Spend so much money on ads. I know I'm getting loud because I'm up on top of my soapbox. Put 4 stars by this. You need to be spending so much money on Facebook ads that you are uncomfortable, that you are losing sleep. You need to be losing sleep. Get it? You need to be losing sleep, and you wake up in the middle of the night, and you go check your Facebook ads, and you check your comments, and you answer those people.
Because you'll get them.
Now, speaking of being a doer and not just a talker, have you seen how much money we spend on Facebook ads?
A lot. A lot of money.
It's over $4 million right now. People say, you haven't spent $4 million. Yes, I have.
It's a lot.
Yes, I have. I tell you what, April and I will talk about this tomorrow on our show. When we first got started doing this, I had to stop using. She had a credit card with a pretty high limit on it, and I had to go get one of my own with that much limit or more because she was very uncomfortable. every time you reach the threshold of $900, they send you a text and an email or a Facebook message. Hey, you just been charged $900 every 30 minutes. $900 is going on, and the first time
she was very uncomfortable. Wasn't she?
So she's lived it. She's walked the walk.
Absolutely.
And now we spent $24,000 the last week of August on one day. In one day, that was the most we ever spent in one day. It was like a Thursday. The last Thursday of August, we spent $24,000
in one day.
In one day. So I'm not just talking the talk. We spend the money. Okay. Because now, why do we spend that money?
Because it works.
It works. If I spend $1 and I get $2 back, how many dollars should I spend?
As many dollars as you have.
As many as you can get your hands on, as many as you can borrow, as many as your grandmother will let you borrow. You should be borrowing money from your grandmother to run Facebook ads until your business is self-sufficient. Speaking of that, Dory's over here behind us. Dory lives in our grandmother's house, who passed away a few years ago at about 82 years old, I think. And she was a very sweet person. And about 10 or 11 years ago, I was at a low spot. I didn't have, didn't have any money, everything was going against me. It was a very tough spot. My grandmother had to loan me $20, and she was living on Social Security. So that's why I don't care if grandmothers get on there and comment, and just hijack your post and say crazy stuff. Right. They deserve that. You know what I'm saying? They deserve that. That's sacrifice right there.
And how long ago was that again?
It was no more than 12 years. It may have been closer to 10 years.
So, I mean, you think about that. Let's stop for a minute and think about that. 12 years ago, roughly, you had to borrow $20 from your grandmother.
Yep.
Fast forward 12 years, $24,000 in one day.
In one day.
On Facebook.
Yep. It's amazing. And that's why I'm such an optimist, because I know what's possible. I know that you can go from zero to hero overnight.
I don't know about overnight.
Well,
see, I'm the realist.
But when it happens, it seems like it's overnight.
No, you're right. It goes quick. It really does.
I tell you what did happen. We went from struggling doing 1 or 2 events per week to doing 15 a week overnight.
Yeah.
That happened. And when you came, how many were we doing per week?
Probably 15 to 20, somewhere in there.
And then you saw it run to 60, two-year period, but it seemed that's very, very fast.
Yeah.
I remember saying early on, I'm going to get back to my notes here, but I remember saying early on, man, if this just last a year, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. Well, it lasted a year. And now,
and still going. Still going.
So what did Jeremy Newell say? I think Dory Lot Schofield should be on the show. I think Dory should be on the show. Jeremy is all about getting Dory on the show.
We'll get Dory on the show.
Yeah,
she'll be on Friday.
Yeah.
She'll do a little bit on Friday. I promise.
So borrow money from grandma. You didn't know that was going to be in the list, did you?
I did not.
Borrow money from grandma and run you some Facebook ads. You have to get digital. That's number one. You have to text your customers. That's number two. You have to be an expert. That's number three. And you have to give away lots of useful information. You have to be running Facebook ads so those people will be coming into your inbox, and that is where you use the art of text message selling, is in the inbox. Here's the last part, or the last rule that I'm going to go over today, and then we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Which we'll read some comments here shortly, but then you just have to work your ass off.
Yeah,
you have to. You know what? No side gigs, no side hustles, not until you have no multiple streams of income. Now, hold on, before you. I know you've been told that that's important. Right. And I've said it before as well. Here's what I mean. Until your number one gig, sales, until your sales career is automatic, and you can make it automatic, man. There's people who go to work every single day, and people are just coming in. Those repeat customers are just coming in. All they have to do is go in and manage their ads, work their CRM. Maybe they're using the DigiNinja CRM, and it's just automatic. They're going to sell. They're going to sell 30 cars a month, 40 cars a month automatically just by showing up. Mm-hmm. Then maybe you can get you a side hustle. Then maybe you can work on your second flow of income. But the minute that you start neglecting your sales career to try to get a side hustle or to try to get a different stream of income before your first stream of income is kicking ass, mm-hmm. is such a mistake.